Oh hi, I didn't see you there. Hi, and welcome to Book Feels. Today we're going to talk about a book that one of my close friends gave to me really recently, and she recommended it to me on Goodreads ages ago, but I never picked it up because it's magic realism. My TBR list is like all the way to Antarctica, and that book is The Strange and Beautiful Sorrows of Ava Lavender by Leslye WALTER. So what this book is about is that there's this girl who has wings. It's better than it sounds, and the book is basically a kind of documentation of both her life and that of her relatives, including her mother, Vivian, her grandmother, Emilian. It's set in America in the 1930s, and it's not really historical like a lot of books which are set in, you know, early 19s America or France or anywhere. The writing was really nice. It really suited the genre and had the whole beautiful nostalgic feel to it. Like, if I was to summarize this book, I would say that it comprises of quirky little short stories which intertwine into a larger timeline of life. At times, the magic realism was a little bit confusing, but I mean, you get used to it. I got used to it after a while. Overall, I give the book a solid 8 out of 10. If you don't mind magic realism, like, it's pretty mild. It's not like intense magic realism like Midnight's Children. If you don't mind a bit of quirkiness and really enjoy really beautiful writing and really that nostalgic feel, you'll really like, I guarantee that you'll like this book. It's probably one of the best books I've read this year, writing wise. If you haven't read The Strange and Beautiful Sorrows of Ava Lavender, I suggest you read it and then come back and then we can share our feels. Otherwise, I suggest you go or you will be spoiled. Okay? And we're back. So I mentioned earlier that I'm not a really big fan of magic realism, and I'll tell you why. Because in magic realism, everything starts off really nice and you're like, it's a quaint little story, quaint little characters, quaint little town, and then boom! Something crazy just happens, and you know, I'm just not really sure, like, about things in general. In the beginning of the book, Pierre turns into a bird. Like, when I actually read that part, I had to go over the sentence 5 times because I just wasn't understanding what was happening. In my head, I was like, there's no way she could have turned into like an actual bird, right? It must be like a metaphor or a figure of speech. But no, I read on, and there's this little yellow canary character. The beginning was really nice and quaint, and then everything just goes really downhill really sudden. Bam, bam, bam! The sister rips out her heart, the brother gets shot, and the mother fades into blue dust. Yeah. So, I mean, I can't really complain, because I guess the magic realism stuff is what makes the book really quirky, as such. But, I mean, sometimes it was just so annoying to read. Like, I wasn't sure what was happening. Like, I couldn't distinguish between reality and what was not reality, what was in their heads. Was anything really in their heads? Yeah. This was like what I was thinking the whole time when I was reading this. After maybe halfway through the book, I like kind of got used to it. I mean, I was still kind of like WTF every single 5 pages, but it was like toned down rather than WTF every 5 sentences. How are you meant to read magic realism? Are you meant to take everything with like salted, or do you just take it as it comes and accept it as canon? Like, I have no idea. One of my biggest WTF moments in the book, and probably one of the funniest, I mean, I actually laughed out loud at this for a solid 10 seconds. It was the part where Renee's naked butt sets off a riot in Manhattan for 4.5 days. Can you just imagine? We want butt. We want butt. Moving on to the characters. Leslye WALTER does really good character development in like a short time. Like a character would only be in the book for maybe like, you know, 20 pages, but you get like a really good sense of their character and like their personality and who they were. Love them all. Except for Vivian. Vivian is my least favorite character in the whole book. I cannot stress how much I like raged at the book when Jack broke up with her and she was in like a perpetual depression over her breakup. I mean, come on girl. It was really sad when Jack broke up with her, but you know, it was just so annoying. Move on with your life, especially Gabe. That was so, oh my gosh, I just like wanted to punch Vivian in that moment. I mean, Gabe is like the sweetest. It's like a BFG, like such a gentle giant. You know, there was the part where he was making the wings for Ava to teach her how to fly, and then Vivian was like, why are you doing that? Like, she's never gonna fly ever. I was really happy when they got together in the end. OTP. Even though I hate Vivian, but OTP. Let's talk about my favorite character, Henry. Henry. He was just so, okay, not sweet, but he was just cute in like a weird introspective way. I don't know, but everything he just did was like, oh. And also at the end, when he kept saying those things, I just had the biggest sense of foreboding. Is that even a word? And then what happens at the end? Freaking creepy rapist, pedophilic Nathaniel goes and, oh my gosh, I can't even. That part was just so scary. I was on my seat the whole time. Guys, this is why you do not go anywhere with strangers. Should have listened to Henry. Because, you know, when everyone was like, Henry, what you saying? So let's talk about the ending. Hands up, how many of you got the ending? Like, what is with people and open endings? I can't stress how much I dislike open endings, because the ending is the part where you're meant to get the closure. You know, the feel good, or like, if not, it's like the cliffhanger into the next book. Like, I'm such a cheesy person for saying this, but like, I think the endings I like the most are the ones which I get the most closure. And sometimes open endings are just so annoying because they just leave questions everywhere. Did Ava really fly, or did she actually die? And that's the thing with magic realism as well. I mean, like, so much weird stuff happened that I'm not actually sure when stuff happens, I'm not sure if it's real or not. This last phrase, I let go of the railing behind me and stretching my wings to that star-studded sky, soared into the night. I'm not sure whether the soared into the night is that she actually did, you know, fly into the night, which would have been a really good ending, or if, you know, she fell to her death because she suicided and then was flying to the night, flying, like rising to heaven. Did she die, or did she not die? Because if she died, that's horribly morbid way to end the story. But I mean, you know, that's probably the effect that Leslye WALTER was going for. But yeah, so those are my main feels on The Strange and Beautiful Sorrows of Ava Lavender. Thank you for watching and supporting my first booktube video. If you like this, please press the like button below and make sure to subscribe. I hope everyone had a good Christmas and a Happy New Year, and I'll check you guys later.